Good day, all of you. Young Mind and Cyberism welcome you to this session by Mr. Vinay Trivedi, CHRO Tone Tech. Let's try to gain from his wisdom. Thank you.
So, good evening. आमची मुंबई को सलाम, बंगाल को नमस्कार, दिल्ली को प्यार, Bangalore को वड़क्कम. We have people from all across the country. Welcome you all, guys. Woo, so Young Mind and Cyberism is very happy to host the most desired person. We wanted to have a speaker, and we have Mr. Shall I take the name or not?
Yes.
So we have Mr. Vinay Trivedi with us. He is a high demanding person. I mean, he is in demand these days. So somehow, thankfully, we got his time for the day. So I welcome you, Vinay, to this special evening. For those who don't know Vinay, he is currently a CHRO of an organization called Tone Tech, a great organization to work and great culture and ethics the organization has. Vinay brings almost 13 plus years of work experience with him. He has worked with organizations like Future Generally, he has worked with Axis Bank, ITC Infotech and all. An XLRI postgraduate and just lives life simply and happily. So welcome Vinay, and we heartily welcome you. And all the participants, by the end of the session, you will have 2 takeaways for you. That I can promise you. One is, lots and lots of mantras of life, how to have a happy life, how to have a great life ahead. And secondly, our partner Cyberism is offering you some discount codes, that is up to 80% discount codes on any of their digital marketing course you do. So that will be sharing with you separately. So welcome you, Vinay, and we actually are waiting to hear from you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much for setting this up, and I also appreciate a lot of you joining in this session. I see some names that I know who have joined, and thank you for joining in. Let me start this session with some form of a disclaimer. I'm just a common man. I'm just a normal human being.
No, don't go by his words.
I'm not a psychologist. I'm not somebody who can give you very clinical responses on how you need to deal with extraordinary situations like the ones that all of us are going through. But I have certain beliefs that have really worked for me, that has let me be fresh, that has let me sort of be energetic. And when I was talking to Chef Ali about this whole session, I think that is what she also wanted me to share with people around. So that's why I'm here. It's not really going to be definitely not a Gyan session. I definitely am not going to recommend or prescribe anything to any of you. But what I'm going to tell is my experience of dealing with situations, and also learn from each one of you on how you're dealing with these situations through your questions and comments as we sort of progress in this session. It's going to be definitely a dialogue. It's not going to be too much of a monologue. I'm only going to spend about 5-8 minutes telling you what I do. There's nothing beyond that, because I haven't stepped out of my house for the last 23-24 days, so I don't have too many things to sort of share, but definitely I'll share a few things that I do that has helped me, and then we go into a Q&A and just share our thoughts around the table. So that's how we are going to format the entire sort of discussion. When actually quarantine was announced, and we had just sort of a couple of days before the lockdown was announced, we had told our staff, our members in the staff, to sort of work from home. I was the most excited, even in my house, to actually be living with everybody 24/7. In my life, I've never stayed with my family 24/7 for so many days together in a stretch. And I'm sure it is the case for a lot of you here as well. Either my dad would be at work, or I would be at school, or mom is out, or I'm working. I mean, we've never as a unit really stayed in one place for so many days together. So that itself was a very exciting thing for me. First 2-3 days of quarantine, obviously because you're excited and you've suddenly found freedom that you never thought you will have, you waste your time. So I was no different. I wasted my first 3-4 days of the quarantine life doing nothing. I was a tortoise that did not move from my place. Whenever I had to respond to an email or attend a con call of work, I would do that and then go back into my tortoise life, which is practically just sitting in one place. And then obviously you realize that that's not what you should be doing. And so I started approaching it very differently. On day 3, I decided, and I sort of, and not just me, but I told that to the entire family, is I will not do any activity that is addictive in a negative way. It is very easy for us to pick up an activity which is addictive in a negative way when you're actually all, in just one place. For example, binge watching series on different internet platforms. I refrained from watching a single new series during this time because anything that I pick up as a negative habit is just going to make it worse for me. So that's one thing that I definitely did, is not watch anything which is a series. I did not watch news for more than 5 minutes in a day, because that really takes a lot of energy off me when you're continuously switching channels and watching news about what is not in your control, because the current situation is not in anybody's control. It is an external event. And because it is an external event and it's not in anybody's control, there's little you can do about it. So why even watch news about it and feel depressed? At max, I would check on people that I care for if they're all right, and just move on. So I limited my news watching to only 5 minutes in a day. That really...
How do you, sorry to interrupt you, how do you, control the temptation of watching a series or news? Because every time the other family members are watching, one or the other family members. So how do you restrict yourself?
The difficult part is to restrict yourself. The easier part is to not restrict yourself. The only way I could manage doing it is I kept myself very busy doing a lot of other activities, and which I will talk about in the session as well, because I actually am having busier days while I'm working for home and working from home than I would actually have when I would go to work. So there are a bunch of activities, starting with watching Ramayana, both the episodes. They are definitely very gripping even today. And the whole family watches Ramayana together. So nobody else wants to watch anything when Ramayana is going on. So my 2.5 hours in a day is spent with Ramayana. I've started fitness classes with Cult. It could be a dance, fitness, yoga, meditation, strengthening exercise, etc. These are, again, Cult has made it free for everybody. So it's fun really going on a workout through your phone or virtually. When you do that for an hour, you are really energized. I mean, I would not skip that even for a day. And the best part is I can schedule a class at 5 o'clock in the evening, or I could schedule a class at 11 o'clock in the morning. I could do it anytime I want. So these Cult fitness classes has really helped me. So I do that. I've taken up Jhadu Pocha responsibility in my house, because that allows me cardio and exercise. Richa, you're laughing. Hello. I've taken up cardio. That Jhadu Pocha is my cardio. I very religiously and in a very disciplined manner take up that activity, and that's how we have divided activities amongst the family members of who's going to do what. And we are very passionate about how we want our activities to be. So, for example, after the 4th day, when we had to keep, sort of washing glasses, my sister got this with my name written on it, So everybody in the house has one glass, which we use every day with names written. We suddenly sometimes get a Starbucks feeling that, you are being called out with your glass to drink your buttermilk. Or sometimes we get a feeling of saying we are above all Moh Maya and we are happy to, lead a very simple life. We don't want glasses, or we don't want any luxury items. We are very happy with this. So you take it both ways. So we started doing small activities that made it exciting for us to sort of stay at home. So Jhadu Pocha takes up a lot of time. I did not start any, and Shefali may not like it while she's giving away some discounted coupons on learning. I didn't go overboard on learning, because to me, learning is not something to be done when you have nothing to do. Learning is to be done as a normal way of life. A lot of people, reach out to me saying, "Sir, can we take courses because I have a lot of time?" My question is, what will you do with those courses if you don't remember anything after 2 days? And the thing with learning is, if you don't implement what you're learning, there's no point. So it's okay if you don't take up courses in learning. Just chill. But a lot of people are, no, I'm taking 3 courses, 4 courses, I've done this, I've done that. And if I ask them anything after 3 days, they'll not remember. So don't go on binge doing of anything. It could be series, it could be learning, it could be any activity which is addictive. Don't do it. I also have normal work, which, takes away 6-7 hours in a day at minimum. So, my whole day is actually super busy, super packed. And I sort of keep doing new activities every time. So sometimes I take up, say, a dance fitness, sometimes I take up a yoga, sometimes I take up a meditation. My mother, I think, has been the most affected with quarantine, because I realized that there are 5-6 people of family who are in her territory 24/7, which she's not used to. She's always used to seeing us get out of the house at 9 o'clock in the morning and only come back in the evening. So she has in fact started meditation every day, because she says, I need mental peace with all of you being around. So we support her in doing meditation there. So it's been fun because I have, started doing a lot of new things. I occasionally do cooking. We keep shifting activities. We just not say that one person will just do one activity and that's your imprisonment punishment, that you will keep doing that activity till the quarantine gets over. We exchange activities. We do fresh activities. We keep fighting over a game of Ludo. I mean, the whole world seems to be playing Ludo. We are no different. So we keep playing Ludo with the family, with friends. We keep playing online games. These are really very busy days, I must say, because there's so many activities that we are doing today, staying at home. So if you have to spend the next 20 days doing anything different, I would recommend that, chill a little bit. Don't get too worried about what's happening in the world. You can't, or I can't change the world anyways. It'll go at its own pace. Please don't watch news for more than 5 minutes. Pick up whatever you want to pick up just to get your sense of what is happening. Do not watch any series as a binge watch just because you have to kill time. Do things that you've never done. For example, it could be painting, craft, drawing, dance, cooking, penning down a poem, writing a blog. It could be so many things that you've never done. Pick up one new activity every day that you've never done. And you realize that you spend 2-3 hours trying to get the best of that activity. So it's not that you have to, in your quarantine, this is like the most beautiful time you get to yourself. I've had a very, very busy life. I've never had a very free life, and people who know me, who are also there here, would know that I actually, would have traveled to 4 cities in a month and continuously for the entire year. I would be in different cities. So for me, this time has been a lot of fun. So if you want to have a lot of fun, then, you can't get a better time than your quarantine days. So that's really how I've been spending my time.
Okay, Vinay, I have something to say here. What, you already have a huge fan following. If you continue speaking like this, I hope for next 30 days you have to be in quarantine then.
No. That's all that I had to say. I have nothing more to talk about. How am I spending my time?
No,
See,
actually, that is.
the best part is I'm not here to tell you anything new. Or I'm not here to, it's not a moment of enlightenment. Okay, I can do this also. Everything that I've told, everybody knows. What I've done is in moderation, I've done a schedule for myself of do's and don'ts. For me, don'ts were simple. Anything that is negative, anything that's addictive is a don't. So I just didn't do it. And all of you have your common sense driving you to see what you don't want to do. And what you want to do, there's a huge list, but don't overdo. That's another extreme. So on both sides, I would say don't go on extremes. In moderation, do all activities, have some fun. And if there are days when you think you have nothing to do, it is okay. You can just look at the sky, look at your fan, talk to your bottle, talk to your glass, no problem. So that's that's my sense of being fresh and my sense of being energetic in these days.
No, there's a lot more. I actually want to know, whenever how I connected with you. I connected through your LinkedIn posts and following those posts. So what motivates you to write those LinkedIn posts? Like for last 1 week, I'm trying to write a good post at LinkedIn. I write it and I scrap it like anything. And when I read your post yesterday, Bheja Fry and all that. So how does it clicks your mind and how do you write that? I mean, many of us want to try our hands on, creativity and writing something new. So please tell us what motivates you and how do you write that?
So I've been writing on LinkedIn for over a year now, a year and a half actually. I've been writing on LinkedIn. I just write dil se. I mean, I write whatever is the scenario. Now, when I'm and that's for anybody who wants to pick up writing. We have some bloggers and writers here as well. So when you want to share your thoughts, my approach has always been that if you have a problem, I will look at an opportunity through that problem. And I'll give you a simple example. There was one time, and I think you definitely know about this, Shefali. There was one time when I had to onboard 300 people in Mumbai. And I ran out of a place. As an organization, I have to get 300 people on board, and I don't have an induction place. Some people will look at it saying that what kind of a company is this? They don't even have a conference room or a hotel booked for training and onboarding people. The only available place for me was a parking lot at my partner's place. I actually said that if you could arrange for chairs, we would want to do our induction in that parking lot. Now, this is a very messy situation to be in. But the way I approached it is saying that, hey, we have a parking lot, and this is a story we'll tell the whole world that we did our induction in parking lot and we still are doing our best for the company. Instead of saying that what kind of a company is this, how is this that you're not able to do even basic, blah, blah, blah. So it's to do with your mindset. For me, a glass is always half full. It's not half empty. And I usually don't like people who say glass is half empty because, I would rather keep them at a distance. So I always write very simple things that are around me, either at workplace or anywhere else. And I just share my views because I look at it from a prism of glass being half full. So it's always an opportunity for me. So that's how I write.
But did you get the cooperation of the joinees and the management?
Of course, they were very excited. They were very excited.
A lot of people might leave here. How is this organization that even don't have a place to do the joining formalities?
Yeah. They were very excited. I didn't have a problem at all. Because I showed, so there is this energy that everybody brings in. Now that energy can be channelized as a positive energy or a negative energy. Now, if you allow the negative energy to take shape of this is not there, this is not there, this is not there, this is not there, it will flow in that direction. But if you channelize that energy into positive side of saying, but we are doing this in such a brilliant way, blah, 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 it moves in that direction. So everybody already say, हाँ, ठीक है, parking lot है तो क्या हुआ, हम कर लेंगे, हमें तो सीखने से मतलब है, we want to learn, it doesn't matter for us if we are, here. I mean, that is just one instance. But what I'm saying is, to everybody, it is very easy for us to look at things in a very negative way. It is very difficult for us to stay sane and stay positive. So my approach is to always look at it in a positive manner. and it gives me the positive energy.
Great, because I was highly inspired by that post, and honestly, I read it 4 to 5 times. That am I reading the correct content, or am I just? So it is really a big, learning for all of us, that we need to stay positive, and how we can manage any situation, whatever comes our
So
way.
I have one of my Ajinkya is there. Ajinkya, where are you? Can you switch on your video? He just reminded me of another such situation that happened while he sets and gets off on the video.
We want to see you if you can come.
While he does that, I'll share this interesting situation. This was with Axis Bank. We were trying to run a survey when the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana was launched. Now we had to actually go to every household and collect data on bank accounts, and there was a RBI diktat to the bank, and bank had to deploy manpower to do it. It was a very interesting thing that we did. So I had, we have a training college. Axis Bank had their training college here in Bangalore where people would go through a program. So we had students who were available, who were not from Bangalore, who had no idea about the language, who didn't know how to approach. We got, Ajinkya is there on the camera. Hi. So we got these students to actually go to different areas in the city to actually do a survey. Now everybody was cribbing that this is not what we are supposed to do. But we looked at it saying that if we can do this, Amit, yes, I'll come back to the quarantine topic. I know we are moving away a little bit, but it's just an example of comfort zone and how you get out of it. And this is, everybody's out of their comfort zone here when you're home. So they actually did this survey for a couple of days. They were chased out of houses. There were dogs that were, left on these people when they went for survey.
Language was the biggest barrier.
Right?
Language was the barrier again.
Language, absolutely, people didn't know language because they were from all parts of the country. But they very gladly and very happily, did this survey. And they were very tired by the end of those 2-3 days, but they did it.
And we enjoyed actually doing that, so we enjoyed. And that was a successful survey which we did.
End of the day, they were all very happy and they were sharing stories of something that they thought was such a Herculean task. Coming back to, this topic of why we are here today, and this example is really that when you really are put out of your comfort zone, if you look at it in a positive way, you will start enjoying that journey. Now, today, nobody has a choice. Everybody has to stay home. There is no choice that anybody has. Because we do not have a choice, one way is to sit in the house and crib and attract negativity. One way is to say, can I do at least one new thing every day? And if you will realize, in 30 days, you would have done 30 new things that you have never done in your life. Now, this is the only way, you will approach a situation as unprecedented as this, by seeing the glass half full. That's really my point. Back to you, Shefali. Do you have a follow-up on this?
No, we are good with this, but honestly, as we are getting to know more, we want to go more deeper and deeper. I see a lot of posts, all of a sudden you do a 5-minute meditation in your office, and everybody is so excited and doing that yoga on yoga day, meditation on meditation day. So how do you, engage the team? And I see every face happy. I mean, I don't see anyone who has been forced to do all these things. How do you manage this? We want to know that mantra actually.
So not every day everybody does everything. And this is for everybody to understand that every day we are not going to be happy souls. I mean, there are times when you will just not be in the mood to be happy. I mean, you cannot just keep smiling all the time. Then there's something definitely wrong with you. So our approach as far as our organization is concerned is that nobody is forced to do anything. If you don't feel like doing an activity, don't do it. It's fine. And more or less people on most days do all activities that are expected to be done, because we just don't force anybody to do anything. We just tell them that this is what we're going to do. now the point here, the larger point here is it's okay not to like a certain activity. It is sometimes okay not to do an activity that you like as well. Right? A lot of times people say, but I have started losing interest in this. It's not that you've started losing interest. You just want a break. You want a pause button. So if you want to give a pause button to some activities, do that. The reason why people are happy and you see happy people in the post is because people genuinely are happy. I don't have to really create anything to capture those moments. I capture those moments very, very randomly. And it works because, again, glass half full activity.
Right. So I believe this, coming back to our topic, that getting quarantined and lockdown is the first ever situation which we all have faced. But I believe that all of us are quarantined in one or the other situation at any point of life. Maybe a personal problem, a professional problem, anything. So that is a quarantine and we are locked down. So how to handle situation, any situation which comes to us, happily.
So, and I'll just make an addition, which also is there on the chat, that how are organizations planning to manage this downturn, right? So let me tell you, and I've been on a couple of TA forums as well, talking about this. What you see right now is you're actually in the middle of a storm. The storm has not ended yet. So we even, like if you ask me or ask any expert, we do not even know the extent of damage that is being caused at this point in time to multiple businesses, not one particular type, but multiple businesses. Okay. There are definitely two ways in which organizations will, in my sense, in my limited knowledge that I have, are going to deal with this. First and the foremost is the organization will look at ways and means to survive this storm. That's the first step, because if you don't survive, then you're not even there in the game. Second step that organizations will take is what best they can do for their people during these times to survive. It's not going to be enough for everybody. It's not going to be business as usual for everybody. It's not going to be that everything is normal, but there is uncertainty outside. Uncertainty is actually hit each one of us. So I think everybody needs to tell themselves that these are not normal days. I mean, tell me one time in your life that you have known that you've stayed locked down in your house for so many days in your lifetime, or in your parents' lifetime, or even grandparents' lifetime. It has never happened. Earlier, when these things used to happen, they were limited to certain areas. So if there is a flood, it is a certain area. If there's a plague, there's a certain area. If there's a riot, there's a certain area. It was never, complete country or multiple countries at the same time. So businesses also do not know what's going to happen and what's going to hit them and what is the extent of damage. I mean, nobody here can predict it. Once the lockdown sort of eases and once we start getting back to normal, we will start picking up pieces to see how we want to progress. Till then, we just cannot predict. For example, the micromobility sector is very heavily hit. The tourism sector is very heavily hit. The travel industry is very heavily hit. Now, suddenly will everybody start, taking holidays, taking flights, going, and everything is going to become normal? No, it's not going to become normal. So I think businesses will look at holding forward, and then we'll look at what is the best they can do with the limited resources they have for their people. That's the way it is. That's the way it'll work. And as far as, and if there are, leaders here, and at least we deploy this policy, we believe that you should be frank in your communication and you should take people along as far as possible. Even if it is bad news, deliver it very frankly, saying that this is the news that we've got, without mincing words. Do not avoid negative information to be passed on, because the more you get people on your side, the better are your chances to bounce back. The more you alienate people, the lesser are your chances to bounce back. So that's my sense.
So in this situation, we are feeling a lot of fear factor, uncertainty, how do we handle these situations? Like somebody has asked that, organizations may even ask to lay off also.
Yeah.
So in case the organization is giving us the clarity, okay, we have to deal with the situation. And sometimes what happens is they are just creating the fear factor and not giving the clarity.
Yeah.
So how do we handle these situations?
There is no magic mantra to handle this kind of a situation. The way I would handle this, if there is any uncertainty, is I would take every day as it comes, and I would live for every day as it goes. I would not worry about what happens if the organization does this, what happens if this happens, because A, I don't know what's going to happen. B, the only way to deal with it is to take every day as it comes. And C, worrying it does not reduce the impact of what's going to happen. If I'm going to worry every day, it's not going to reduce the impact. The impact still will be the same. But if I take every day as it comes, I will at least be in a better frame of mind when something hits me, not to be very irrational and to face that situation with strength. So what I will do is, because I'm doing it every day, I'm taking it every day as it comes, I'm actually building certain immunity around my system so that when the storm hits me, or when the result of the storm hits me, if it is negative, I am ready to brace it. Will it not impact me? Of course it will impact me. I mean, it's like, when your storm hits you, you go back, you have a jerk. When you land, you have a jerk, right? That's the impact. I mean, it's going to be there. Some things will break, some things will, move. It is going to happen. But you have to just take it in the stride, because you don't have a choice. If you had a choice, you would have done something differently. And the choice definitely is not to sit and crib about it, or the choice is definitely not to say, oh, my life is ruined, somebody ruined my life, this happened, that happened. I mean, well, you can do that as well. A lot of people do that. But that's only going to temporarily give you relief, because you've put the blame on somebody.
Right. So I think what you have rightly said, and what we also feel, is that situation is not under our control. We just need to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
And I believe, since I follow you, so you have been doing, taking the situations the way they come to you, and that is how you are able to handle them very tactfully.
Yeah.
And somebody says that, even I also advise people, please follow him at LinkedIn, because his posts are very, motivating. So at least if we cannot, interact any point of time one-to-one, we don't know which post will hit us up, which post can keep us alive, which post can keep us motivated. So we all should, stand for each other at this point of time. Like, just to share, we have started another chain from today, that is for, meditation evening from 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Positive vibes, positive energy. There are a group of 10-15 people who have just started that, taking that initiative, and we'll just meditate and give positive feedback. So I think all of us can, get into one or the other activity and keep engaged and keep positive.
I just think, you have to see, this is I would request everybody else to be on mute. See, this is a scenario where the more you look outward, the higher are your chances of dissatisfaction. The more you look inward, the higher are your chances of satisfaction. So if you are facing a situation, I think looking inwards and calming yourself down is a better option than looking outwards. So while you would have your set of people who you would, confide and talk, but don't go beyond that. I mean, accept that it's a bad time. Let us face it, and let us face it positively every day as it comes. It definitely helps.
So at this point of time, how are you engaging your people also? I mean, we heard a lot from you that how you are keeping yourself busy, and what do's and don'ts you have set for yourself. But how are you keeping your people also busy?
So that's another thing. We are not keeping anybody busy for the sake of keeping them busy. If there's no work, there's no work. We are not creating work because somebody is sitting in the house and possibly somebody has to justify their salary. I mean, if there is work, they also come, they complete their work, they go back, do whatever they're doing. We don't believe in, engaging for the sake of engaging. Of course, we have occasional video messages that, the founder sends to people so that everybody is fine. We have subgroups that connect anyways, so they keep talking to each other. But we don't do any activity which is not required. I mean,
Cool. So,
we leave the kids alone.
also
Let them chill.
So I'm saying, do you have vacancies also in your organization? So many would be willing to join your.
No, not at the moment.
So I hope if any opportunity comes, nobody will like to miss that. Working with you, working with a great organization, because I have come across few people who are just checking that whether if we are sending an email, in how much time do we get a reply. So they are just judging whether the person is sitting in front of the system or not.
That's why I said, look internal, look at yourself internally. Don't let others judge who you are. Don't crib about uncontrollables like Amit is mentioning on the chat there. It's very true. I mean, you can only talk about what is in your control end of the day.
Can we ask these audience also to come, unmute themselves, and we can have a little last 15-20 minutes. We can have some interactive discussion.
What I would recommend is if they could put their questions in the chat, and then they could come, on the video. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of people, and how will you choose who who?
So till now in my webinars, my experience is that 5 to 6 people initiate and they start. I mean, just to make it little interactive, I thought that if we can unmute everybody.
We can.
Okay. So I have already unmuted. So can we hear something from Nasagi? How are you, coping up with the situation? Actually, I'm very excited to know from her because she called me last evening. Hey, I have heard Vinay Trivedi ka session hai, Punjabi link bhejiye, and I was so happy. So we want to hear from you.
Anybody has any specific questions?
Yeah, I think there is one question by Megha. Few organizations have taken action to pay half or certain percentage or probably partial compensation to employees during this time phase. What are your thoughts on the same? Is that appropriate? Please share your thoughts on the same.
Sure.
Right, sir.
Right. If you could also come.
So I'm right there on the video.
So, see, Megha, these are not normal times for anybody. Okay. Nobody had planned what happens in their best of BCP. You have these business continuity plans. I think in their best of BCP, they're not thought that India is going to be locked down for so many days. Okay. Nobody in there. I mean, I have not imagined a world where Indian railways and flights would be grounded. I mean, I cannot even think what kind of a world we are living in when you have to think of that. Okay. So if there are organizations that are taking action in terms of a salary cut, but giving importance to employment and saying that let people continue with their jobs instead of... So there could be two options. One is to cut a few people and remaining, they'll have full salary, or everybody takes a cut and everybody still continues to stay. So what would you choose?
Right.
Definitely not cut a few people, right? I mean, it's not a happy thing, but given the choices, I think every organization will have a right to take a call basis their internal
profitability.
Yes.
Business scenarios. Right. Thank you.
Appreciate your question, Megha.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any question?
Hi, this is Navarun here, Navarun Basu.
Hi, Navarun. Can I see you as well?
Yeah, sure.
I haven't been seeing too many new people.
Yeah. I think it's visible, right?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Actually, just I want to know that what would be like HR policies after this COVID period, like when you join, we start afresh again. So what going to be the next? So what will be the HR policies? We need to frame it again or something like that. Altogether, we need to make it again. So that what would be the next procedure for HR?
I think,
framework?
yeah, I don't think anything is going to change very significantly if you ask me. Okay, everybody will talk about it. Everybody will keep a scenario like this in their policy manual, that if something like this happens, how you should react. But at best, that's it. I mean, why do you want to change anything at all? I mean, I'm sure everybody wants to go back to traffic. I'm sure everybody wants to go back on the road. I'm sure everybody wants to go back to work. So not a lot will change. My sense is it should not also. I mean, a reaction of this cannot be like the whole world changes. I mean, that will not happen. We will get back to normal. It'll be a little cautious normal for a couple of months because people will be very scared in their mind. But gradually people will forget this also and they'll move on. And then you will tell your kids that there was a time when I was quarantined for 40 days. You are a lucky guy or a girl. You don't even have to go through this. So these are stories that will get created. I mean, that's the only new thing that will happen.
Right. And regarding the other perspective like reward and recognitions, or we can have the policies for the performance, or other things that is any going to be changed for regarding the budget perspective, or companies things that we can do that.
See, budgets, I'll tell you, are different every year anyways.
Right.
Every year organizations will have different budgets, keeping in mind how organization is growing and where organization is growing. So that will continue to be different even in this year versus last year. I think it is only wise that everybody holds on to wherever they are in whatever position they are, because that's the best case scenario to be in right now. But at the same time, there are also some organizations that have gone ahead and declared increments and promotions. So where organizations can, they're doing that. I mean, every organization will be different, right? Somebody is a 3-year-old, somebody is a 5-year-old, somebody is a 15-year-old, somebody is a 18-year-old. So they'll all behave differently basis their age that they are, like how human beings behave in different age groups.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
What's the first thing you wish to do right after this period?
I would, I would want to go to my favorite cafe, sit there with a bunch of my friends and talk about how we missed meeting them for 40 days. But I think that's going to take a long time. I don't see that happening. But that's what I would like to do.
So what are you planning, Richa, after this lockdown?
Honestly, it's going to sound a little cliche, but I'm so used to traveling in the metro that I really want to go in the metro.
No, it's not cliche at all. Nobody thought.
I don't know.
You want to go back to metro?
No, I just want to take a ride in the metro. I'm so used to it. It's like my day is incomplete without traveling in the metro.
Good one. And this is a unique one. People say we'll go for a movie, we'll go for a holiday, we'll go to a good restaurant. So yours is a very unique one that you want a metro ride.
Yeah, that eventually will happen. But metro is something I don't know. I never imagined. I don't know. I used to love my metro rides. So.
No, that's good. So we are missing our daily routine actually. So do you feel, Vinay, that after this quarantine that people will immediately get back to their normal, because this 40 days, getting up in the morning, again going back to office at the same time?
They will. The spirit of human brain is so amazing that when you got into this lockdown, everybody is alive and sane, right? I mean, nobody's had to see a doctor. You have you imagined a world where you will stay like this in the house? You get used to it. That's the beauty of your brain, that there is resistance. It takes a little while to accept, but it eventually starts getting used to it. People will want to go back to their normal routine so that they can crib about saying, yeah, quarantine days were better than this. Where have we come back to? While you're in quarantine, they want to talk about, yeah, those days were at least better. We could meet some new people. So there's no problem at all. Everything will be normal.
Or maybe I have a suggestion that companies have to give first 1 week as a leverage, that if someone is coming 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late, that is fine. They also need some time to get back to the routine.
I wouldn't be the best person to comment on that. Well, I think every company will take a call basis how they are going through it.
Right. So do we have any other questions from anyone? How to live a healthy life, a positive life, how to stay healthy in a quarantine?
I think Nimit has asked a question. Well, everybody's asking, so now is it going to be virtual? Is everybody going to look at work from home as an option? Is this going to really change the way, people look at workplaces, etc., etc.? See, my thing is, the only benefit that this unfortunate pandemic would do is at least push people to look at roles that can give opportunities to work from home. And in a lot of different sectors, not just one or two sectors, but a lot of sectors will look at this. So I think that definitely will happen, but nothing beyond that. I mean, there won't be like a sea change at all, actually. Meghna has raised her hand. I don't know if she has another question to ask. I just see her raising her hand.
But do you see that companies will now may give an option of work from home also?
It's difficult to say. It's difficult to say. I think we have to. I think we have to understand one thing. We just love extremes in our lives. That's why we love these viral posts, because they're extremes. But we at the same time live in a world that is full of moderation. That's not extreme. We don't live on extreme worlds. You may want to be on Himalayas, but only for a day. Again, you want to come back to your normal, routine. So there's not going to be anything that will come out so extreme that acha, sab ghar se kaam karenge. Everybody's going to look at work from home as a compulsory option. Nothing of that sort will happen. But there will be eventually some roles that people never imagined will also have an option of working from home.
Right. I totally agree with what you just said. So I have another last question with you. I've read somewhere that you are trying to become human. So just want to know what is missing.
Gaurav, Richa, Ajinkya, there are a lot of people who have dealt with me in the past, and they would, I'm sure, agree when I say I'm trying to be human, because they've seen a different version of me. But you change with time. So that's why I'm trying to be human now.
That actually clicked me, is that if a person is doing so many things, he's, touchwood, living life the way it comes. So what is left in becoming a human?
Well, everybody has scope of improvement. I am no different. I'm a common man that also needs a lot of improvement in a lot of areas. If I call my wife and mom, they'll tell 10 things that are not human in me. So when I address these sessions, obviously they're not there. So there are scope of improvements that everybody has.
Right. No. So there.
By the way, every post of mine will have some or the other grammatical errors. I have so many people who've pointed out grammatical errors and made me update my posts, and I would be in a flow of writing something, so I would not have noticed that, or autospell would have changed it. Well, I can always hide behind autospell; it will be an error. But so there are a lot of things that needs to change.
Right. So any small activity comes to your mind that we can do right away with all of us can do it right away with you?
On camera, we can, if everybody turns on their camera, then we can talk of the activity.
I'll request everybody to put on their camera.
Who all can?
Who's good at taking a screenshot of this? If they're on a computer?
I've already taken.
No, I'll do an activity and we'll take a screenshot.
I'll take.
If everybody can switch on their cameras. I see another Trivedi on the call. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I didn't know relatives are joining the call as well, actually. I thought
of giving you a surprise. Start somewhere.
I should have told relatives not allowed on the call.
Unfortunately, relatives are on the same function, so can't help it. Somewhere we have to cross the paths.
So Zarna, who's here, she also leads HR for another organization here in Bangalore, and she also happens to be my cousin. Good to see you. And
In here, at least that way we would be able to see each other through this quarantine way. That's one another positive thing. Which is
yeah, I agree. Okay, so if everybody's cameras are on, anybody whose camera is not, I still see a few people whose camera is not.
We are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
If everybody's camera is on, so I want you to take a screenshot. There's only one activity that I want, not an activity really, but a pose that I want you to give, because it's quarantine time and these are not really normal times. So I want everybody to do, sort of this, and we'll take a screenshot because we are all quarantined and we want to get out of this and we want to go back to normal life. So at a count of 3, I will say, so I want all of you to, don't hit your head too hard. I mean, it's your head, be careful. But do this and we'll take a screenshot and see how it comes out. Maybe that should be the post that goes out after this for the quarantine days, right? 1, 2, 3, go.
Nice.
He's taking a screenshot. Wait. And you can't be, look at yourselves, everybody's smiling while hitting their head. Can quarantine make you happy like this? You're actually saying, I'm angry and you're smiling. See, that's what happens when you're looking at glass which is half full. And that's what happens when you're positive about how you want to sort of do this.
Right.
Excellent. I think I'm through. And we are through the.
So I think we had a wonderful session with you, and we loved, and I think the audience also loved, as I promised in the beginning, that you will have some takeaways at the end of the session, how to stay happily while you are quarantined, and being whatever situation comes in your life. We always need to be, any situation comes and we have to handle it tactfully, and things becomes much more easier for us then. So thank you, wonderful audience, for staying with us. Thank you, Vinay, for your wonderful time. And I would love to, host a series with you. So I'll talk to you separately, and we can plan something again good. At least in these quarantine days, we can do something.
Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Have a good evening.
Please share, like and subscribe our YouTube channel to stay updated.